vibe, cause we good over here. This joy can't be destroyed, I'm immune to despair. Now I'm setting my intentions, I learned from all my lessons. Took a minute to get the message, but it's finally clear. You've been hating all day and hating all night, worrying and whining, both waste your life. But if you take your time and focus on what's right, you will notice just how cool.
All right, you guys, this is Raw Podcast back at you with another video. On today, we're going to talk about the situation going on, well, what happened with Shedeur Sanders and why Shedeur Sanders got drafted later in the rounds. We got to talk about it, man, because this thing is real, and people are not really talking about it and really putting it out there like it should be told. Basically, if you've been watching the Sanders family, you know that Deion Sanders made a comment. And in that comment said, he was saying, like, there's going to be some teams that's not going to be able to pretty much get my kid. That I'm going to pretty much steer my kid away. And, rightfully so, as a parent, you want to be in the choices and the decisions that your son makes as an adult. You want to be in some of those decisions. Not saying that you have control of it, but you just, you want to be able to be an advisor to your kid. But when it comes to going into the NFL, you don't really have that. Now, I know what Prime was kind of trying to do. So basically, Coach Prime was basically trying to do the same thing that Eli Manning kind of done. Eli was supposed to go to San Diego, but he said that he wasn't going to go to San Diego. He ended up going to New York, and it actually happened. He did not go to San Diego, to the Chargers at the time, which they are the LA Chargers now, but he didn't go to that team. He went to the New York Giants. And maybe that's the thing that Prime was trying to do, and just saying that he's going to guard his son in the best way possible. But you got to let your kid grow up. You got to let them do what they need to do and what's best for them, because truth be told, it's not fair to a lot of kids if you get to call the shots on where your son gets to go. But it's a lot of other kids that fathers played in the NFL as well. Maybe they wasn't an all-pro. Maybe they wasn't the greatest of all time. But they didn't get a chance to have any say-so where that kid get drafted at. And some felt like maybe that's what he was trying to reach for, and that's what he was trying to do. But at the same time, I feel like the owners pretty much, went into a collusion on Coach Prime and showed him who has the control in the NFL. That's what this whole thing is about. It's not about racism or anything like that. This whole thing is about collusion, and this whole thing is about being able to show Coach Prime that you do not have control of the situation when it comes to the NFL. Yes, you played in the NFL. Yes, you were a great player when you did play in the NFL, but now this is your son's destiny. So this is going to be a little bit different, and you need to play ball with us. We don't need to play ball with you. You need to play ball with us. And they were showing Coach Prime this by basically humbling the whole family. We know that Shedeur Sanders is one of the best quarterbacks in this draft. And there's no way that Shedeur Sanders should have dropped all the way down to the fifth pick. I mean, not the fifth pick. I'm sorry about that. The fifth round in the NFL draft. There's no way that Shedeur Sanders should have got picked in the fifth round. But that's okay, man. It's fuel to the fire. It's going to make Shedeur Sanders even a better player, because he's now hovering around where Tom Brady was hovering at, who is his mentor. Tom Brady went in the sixth round. Just because you're a first-round pick, that doesn't mean that you're going to go into the NFL and do your thing. Sometimes first-round picks become a bust. It's not a guarantee just because you get picked in the first round that you're going to be the man. If you check a majority of the NFL players that become stars in the NFL, it's always those guys that get picked in the later round just about that end up becoming real stars in the NFL because they work hard and it wasn't handed to them, and they go out there and prove that they belong. And I think that that's what Shedeur Sanders is going to have to show the Cleveland Browns and show to himself that he belongs in the NFL. Now, he plays a total different position from his dad. He plays quarterback. His dad was a corner. So they play two different positions, but at the same time, I see the talent. I watched Colorado. I understand that Colorado didn't have the best offensive line in college football. And if you put Shedeur Sanders with the Alabama Crimson Tide or the Ohio State Buckeyes or the Michigan Wolverines or whoever you put Shedeur Sanders with, I'm telling you, Shedeur would be box office with any of those teams. So his skill set and his talent is undeniable. You can't deny that this man can flat out play football. So the biggest thing is that this thing is all about control and letting Coach Prime know that he has no control of the situation. That's what this thing is about. No way that this man should have slid all the way, because everybody, every single day, guess who everybody's checking for? They're not checking for Jackson Dart. They're not checking for Dylan Gabriel. They're not checking for none of these other quarterbacks that got drafted in the draft. People are caring about where Shedeur Sanders is landing, because you want to keep your eyes on Shedeur Sanders because you want to see, is his game going to translate into the NFL? That's what you're trying to see. Will Shedeur Sanders translate to being a great quarterback in the NFL? We know that he got great pocket presence and awareness. We know that. He's the most accurate quarterback in this draft. The only thing that I said that Shedeur needed to work on is being able to know when to run with the football. If he learns how to do that, Shedeur is going to be a better quarterback in the National Football League. Learning when to run with the ball and not holding on to the ball so long, because I know he's out there running around extending plays and trying to do his best to make a play, but sometimes you just got to let it rip. And I'm not saying like go out there and throw interceptions or anything like that. I'm just saying sometimes you just got to let the ball go. But other than that, those are the things I think that he needs to work on, just being able to do those things. And if he can do those things, he's going to be a successful quarterback, because I already know that the kid has a great workout regimen and that he's going to do his best to be the best player that he can be. But this whole thing was not about anything more than just being able to let Coach Prime know and let the Sanders family know that they don't have control of the situation. The NFL has control of it, and they're gonna allow whoever they want in the league, when they want them in the league, when they want them to be drafted, everything. So I think that the owners were in this together. That's the reason why he did not get drafted earlier. He got drafted in the later rounds. But hey, Shedeur, man, keep your head up, man, and keep grinding. Peace.